roster, so it really is anyone's game. This is a race to make it to Raleigh, and this matchup is very important when it comes to points. Dignitas versus Gentlemates. Let's go.
We're about to find out whether Gentlemates Alpine are for real with Eugen. And this game against Dignitas is game one, brought to you by Progressive Stumpy, is going to be huge for that.
Yeah, I mean, give them through all of the kind of permutations we have going into this, but ultimately, you win and you're in a better position than the person, or rather the team, that loses this matchup. And GK, they are already through to one of those later rounds as well. So you're looking towards them. They're now going to set themselves into that three-way tie. And I'm the only one here going against Dignitas. I'm going for Gentlemates. I'm surprised that it was as, chat going for Dignitas, everyone else going for Dignitas. I thought there'd be a couple more mates believers here, but maybe I just like the story of Eugen.
I mean, the story of Eugen has been fantastic. He's come in and he has looked brilliant for them. Almost as brilliant as Seiko's wonderful pink card.
Oh, that's exciting.
Utterly fantastic. We're going to certainly be noticing that one. And Seiko, I'd say, for Gentlemates, despite Eugen's brilliance, has been their star performer in recent weeks. He is looking like the Seiko of old, the absolute carry merchant that we saw burst into the scene a few years ago.
Yeah, I think when you have, obviously, the big change going from Rodolfo over towards Eugen, it can unlock the players that otherwise find themselves very trapped and having to cover mistakes and having to double think things and having to, not necessarily play how they want to. Eugen plays a lot more how I think Seiko anticipates, and you can see that in then how Seiko responds and where he positions and how he ultimately ends up playing. That's Seiko missing that one and doesn't quite find Eugen off the back of it. And the pressure so far has been just about in favour of the Gentlemates, but I mean, we've seen how much pressure can go against a team, and you just need to make sure that you are able to convert all the shots that you can take. Because Dignitas, historically, they had that one match. Can you remember who it was against, Cole, where they had 30 shots?
Oh, JJ Rocks.
That was it, JJ Rocks. Yeah, they had 30 shots. So we've seen them have, a bit of a shocker of a game where they had a lot, but then they just couldn't quite do anything with it. And that's Seiko to beat out Warriors, but that can make sure he works his way back.
Yeah, if they can have 30 shots in this one, I'm sure at least one or two of them will go in, you would expect, but who knows, the way Gentlemates can defend when they're at their best, maybe that won't be the case. Dignitas, who also reached the semi-finals in Open number 4, as did Gentlemates, so both these teams on course for making the Raleigh Major. Apparently Jack has made every single major over the last few years apart from London 2. So he is on a decent streak of making them himself, so he'll be expecting Dignitas to do exactly that. But you have to win games like this if you're going to do so. Game number 1 is looking close and tense, as we would expect between these players, as Stizzy tries to go around the corner and Eugen doesn't let him. I feel like we're waiting to find out which of these players is going to be the one. It's two teams where any player could be the spark.
Seeing that spark come alive as well is what kind of games like this are all about, where somebody may well take it on their shoulders. So far, it's not been anybody particular who has been glowing. He sends it long, finds a stealing, which Eugen did not want. Steve now can whip himself back around on that one, but Seiko will just get that first. So shooting to the back ball, clears it fast. Seiko can't quite make the contact he wanted either, and now suddenly it's a Dignitas push.
Yeah, but Juicy's done well though, just to wait. Eugen, he and Juicy, with no boost between them, are still able to get the ball at least back to blue territory. Apparently Jack going end-to-end should be easily defendable. And it is Juicy again, so both teams just slamming the ball back towards each other's net. That's the better touch there from Jory. It's a bit of shape to it, a bit of impetus for his team. Well tracked again by Gentlemates. And it does just seem to me right now, something that Dignitas are pushing and Gentlemates are waiting, and something soon has surely got to give. Seiko misses there, and Juicy has to go back to his own half.
There's not been any convincing chances just yet, even a couple of interceptions. I think both these teams are working their way back quite easily. That's second touch for Seiko that you really fancied. Managed to come through. They leave Eugen, that young gun at the back, does chip it over Stizzy. Dignitas young gun, a reset round Abjack, but Abjack intelligently does manage to track back. Only 90 seconds left. Neither of these teams still having many convincing opportunities. It's one though for Juicy, goes on to the top corner. Stizzy just about gets the momentum on it to keep it away.
Yeah, a little bit rushed there from Juicy. There were two defenders there. It was always going to be swatted away. I think there you have to go for the double tap if you can. Apparently Jack takes a touch in orange territory. Eugen allows Seiko to get it towards him. And again, the clearance only goes halfway. So they're transitioning halfway up the pitch right now, Gentlemates, but not really the rest of the job. They need that third man getting involved a bit more. That's the fourth touch. Jury is coming in. Jury says to go for the shot. Instead it's a bump. Apparently Jack waits. Eugen dodges forwards once more, though. It's only as far as the midfield, where Dignitas are waiting.
Yeah, Dignitas waited cleverly, and Juicy didn't read it at all. Gives all that possession straight back over towards Dig. Eugen finds Juicy on the left, but a poor jump means that Eugen now has to try and cover those tracks. It's a complete miss from apparently Jack. Juicy can shoot it, and it's absolutely barreled off the post. That is a huge error from both sides, and we stay 0-0.
And almighty clang. But Dignitas will be all too pleased to hear.
He's
in the crossbar again! The woodwork saving Dignitas time after time. Juicy's blocked by Stizzy. Gentlemates must be wondering how they haven't stolen this one late, and now apparently Jack shoots! And it does go in!
Seiko from one end. On the other side, Seiko with a poor pinch, and Jack just shoots it. He checks the net. Juicy can't make contact. Apparently Jack has been hero and villain in this game for both sides.
Yeah, well, apparently Jack will only remember one thing, and it is that beautiful Dignitas goal explosion that he just conjured up. 7 seconds left. No particularly clever kickoff plays here from Gentlemates, which I'm surprised about. The ball just goes neutral. Is it allowed to die? Seiko just about keeps it up, finds that ramp. Eugen tries to do the same, but apparently Jack does not let him. He was involved, if little else, with everything.
Yeah, had an error. Take that home as a win.
Well, let's see if they can continue their own good work, or if Gentlemates, as we assume they will step up. You have to remember Raleigh is the prize at the end of the tunnel for these players. It's certainly at the point I feel stumped where the pressure of the major being ahead will start to come into play.
Yeah, I suppose that's then on the coach to then try to make sure that your players aren't thinking, oh, win this, then we've got this chance, and then, we just need to be this team, and, you don't want them thinking of permutations. Even if you have players like, I'm sure Jack is always pretty aware of, where their standings are and kind of who is their next rivals and what certain matchups mean, but you need to do your best job to just try to not let them dwell on it. Just play their game, take every single series as it comes. Gentlemates will be doing the exact same thing. Going down in game one, not the biggest error. Apparently Jack, though, clears over Eugen. It's going to be a double tap in, and not quite. Jack didn't have that last little smidge of boost that he needed for victory.
Yeah, but that was loose at best from Eugen. Well, the brilliance have come to expect from him in the few weeks he's been part of this Gentlemates roster. Still, 1 or 2 errors in the relative, not newbie, he's been about the RLCS for a while, but certainly at this level in these huge orgs, in these big boot camps, it's very different, as apparently Jack tries to pin that one forwards and is almost able to. Once again, I feel like Gentlemates, they are more than happy to just ping the ball back to Dignitas. I do want to see them keep hold of the ball a bit more, invite Dignitas on to attack them, and try and build something forward. As they've done there, a decent solid 50, and what do you know?
And he's flung his face straight into it too. I think that was Eugen at the back, comes in and slams into the behind of Seiko. Just give him that extra little nudge, give Seiko that goal, but honestly, the power came entirely from Eugen. Gentlemates take the lead.
And apparently Jack, who was the player who scored the goal in the first game, wasn't able to do anything about that one. Almost scores an own goal straight away from the kickoff as well. So Gentlemates do have some kickoff struts of their own, as apparently Jack booms it as far as he can. Eugen needs that boost. Seiko coming in, that's more good composure. Gentlemates will be feeling a lot more relaxed after that goal that's gone their way, especially after those 1 or 2 errors were starting to fly in. Huge demo from Seiko. And Juicy continued to transition. That's much better there from Gentlemates. Instead of rolling it into the middle, they're following it through. So here comes Dizzy to the ceiling, wants to get the reset, can. Reels his way underneath the ball, but not able to do anything else with it.
Nice interception from Juicy too, but I do think that Eugen is being left on his own at the back quite often. We've seen it a good few times so far, and we've seen also how he doesn't deal with that necessarily perfectly. Just got low on that 50. And Juicy then shoots straight on target. Goes far too middle of the net, however, and apparently Jack a very routine save. Usually shies away from that. I thought that would have been a good chance. Instead, it's the 1-2-3, and apparently Jack dives back just in time to get the save. But up for Juicy, he's on his own. Jory bump to the backward, gives him even more time. Oof. And only just wide. That was a lot of faith Dig had.
Man, I thought that had just fallen its way in for a second. Dignitas were more confident it wasn't happening than I was. Well, their angle's better than me. Huge bump there. Seiko almost helps out. Eugen saved again by apparently Jack. He's reading everything. Eugen is slamming at that Dignitas goal. Jory is now maybe a chance to chase it. Can he get the equalizer for Dig just after they make the save? Could have been a huge swing, but it's well defended by Juicy.
I mean, Jack is out here just saying no to any more prodigies. Nobody else, please. I found Chronic. We've seen Zen. We don't need a Eugen as well. Trying to shatter all of his dreams. Under 2 minutes remaining. Stizzy goes for a full court carry. quite able to, as Seiko and Eugen both intercept. Now it's 2v1 in that net. Joreuz actually lets Seiko have that first touch, then just shepherds it back round to keep it safe above his own net. Dizzy can't quite find Jack in the centre, now full stake.
Seiko's coming forward now. Gentlemates keeping control of the ball slightly better than they were earlier. That's a huge flick though from Stizzy. Juicy's rushing back to get there. Joreuz, he go for the fake here. He could have done it. Instead, he tried to pass the ball.
Oh, that's so
good! The slow roller is sumptuous.
I mean, Joreuz there could have faked this, but he lands on the ceiling and then immediately jumps off to pass it. It gives it more speed back down towards Jack. Wonderful play from Dig. Great work. 80 seconds, and that is, I think, a goal that feels like the evolution of a fake almost.
Here's Juicy now, straight from the kickoff. Stizzy dunks him. Seiko out wide, where apparently Jack was waiting for it. Apparently Jack has had such a good series so far. Wants to put that one into the centre. Eugen is there ahead of him. I wonder if Joreuz is going to be coming forward after that. There's like a press up that he got to push the ball down and squeeze it in apparently Jack's direction. Suddenly Dignitas are back in parity.
Now under a minute, and it's going to be a good chance for an attack for Dignitas. They have a little bit of boost in the side of Gentlemates, but they've got more than enough to defend with for now. Jack to the backboard, tries to actually bump Juicy in the sky. Goes to the track up with this ball, gets a nice catch and a reset. But uses it so quickly, Stizzy comes in, that's both players airborne for Dignitas, but Gentlemates can't quite take advantage.
Yeah, not sure I like that one. And apparently Jack wisely stayed as grounded as possible after seeing both his team floating. After that lovely touch from Joreuz, trying to be a little bit too clever, got attached to the play. No harm done, so Eugen is able to get this catch. Bypasses Stizzy, missed apparently Jack as well. Joreuz was tracking that one. It looked pretty dangerous for a second, but Joreuz should be able to keep this one flat. Apparently Jack is trying to get a few bumps of his own. Juicy has Eugen to the side. Stizzy's the ceiling, has to get this read and does. It's decent defending. These teams are cancelling each other out. Maybe that changes now, Stumpy. Here's Seiko, 0 seconds. But it's saved by Stizzy.
It was on the goal line too. The only place Stizzy was occupying, and it was shot straight into him. And I think Eugen earlier fancied a sidewall redirect, but instead Seiko cuts him off. Stizzy can pass back towards Jack, who stays awkward in the blind spot, but does retreat instead. I think Eugen fancied a sidewall redirect there, but Seiko just did not let it.
Big boom from apparently Jack, and it's past Juicy, who actually was able to recover pretty well, but apparently Jack around the outside is surely going to go for a bump or two. Dodged well by the Gentlemates defense. They're in a little bit of trouble, and they have been since the overtime started. Apparently Jack has time and space. Does he have the quality to get this double tap? He fakes it instead. In comes Joreuz, it's gone high. That was, wayward.
It's not rugby, fella. Like, you need to have that a little bit closer to the ground. And now Jack sets up pretty well. I mean, Joreuz can't do everything, but Eugen can. Again, a game won by a complete snapshot out of nowhere.
Yeah, apparently Jack didn't get it to sort of roll round the stadium like he expected to. Instead, it just bounced to Eugen, but that was not an easy finish. From the volley, from the
last into that fifth place spot. So both the teams have a lot to play for, not just, to get the series win to see what could happen, but very tangible benefits.
Two Gentlemates players go for that kickoff, but two of them miss it, and Stizzy has a chance for a floor pitch straight away. Instead, it falls to Seiko, so a rip-roaring start here to game 3. As Eugen tries to squeeze that one into the centre. Joreuz and Stizzy, I've got my eye on them, Stumpy. They've yet to do too much, really, so far this series. If that changes, I can see Dig really pulling away.
I think Joreuz has been pretty standout for me, personally. He's had some fantastic assists. He has been a good defensive player as well. We've seen him this weekend to be that kind of player where, you were saying right at the top of the series, like, okay, you need to be competing no matter what kind of position in the bracket you find yourself in. I think Joreuz has done that very well for me personally.
Seiko forces another save out of apparently Jack. He can't stop getting them, and Joreuz and Stizzy are both stranded on their goal line. Joreuz does very well there. But to get up for it early and catch the ball and feed apparently Jack. Can apparently Jack get himself another one? He's at the crossbar this time. Stizzy's coming in. Surely he's got to score. He does. Triple tap, baby! Love that!
I mean, it came from Jack's attempt at a double tap. And Stizzy just very neat. Does manage to just about squeeze it in. Juicy low boost. Couldn't quite get that block. Dignitas, it was good pressure from them. And good boost stealing as well to make sure that nobody on Gentlemates is going to be able to work their way to any save that's coming in from up high.
I'm not entirely certain that Stizzy needed to triple tap that instead of just a clean double, but do you know what? I adore that he did. Hearing all those clongs off the crossbar before it found its way in was beautiful. Great flick again from Stizzy, who does appear to be coming online right now. He's rotating out now, though. Apparently Jack to the ceiling, wants to get the next touch, try to float it past Eugen. And right now it is all Dignitas. They have all the pressure, they have Gentlemates pinned back. Juicy gets an almighty flip reset attempt to change that, and then goes underneath apparently Jack, and Stizzy has to force it wide. Shows you how quickly it can change.
And that's a lovely pass from Stizzy, goes straight down towards Joriers. Takes gives the ball straight back towards the defender. Juicy now changes first. Abjack in the sky. Stizzy with the 50. Juicy gonna be going for boost here. Leaves ball as Eugene can come in. Seiko a reset. Central round Joriers. Juicy first to it. But Stizzy gets that third and fourth touch. Just about alleviates the pressure for Dig.
Well, apparently Jack up against Seiko, and that one's going to go yet again to the ceiling. Stizzy is getting way too much time on the ball for my liking, if I'm a Gentlemates fan. And Juicy again opts to just boom the ball long. It definitely seems to be tactical for Gentlemates. More than happy to launch it forwards, and for the most part, Dig are dealing with it, but sometimes there is a mistouch from Dignitas. That's when Gentlemates are coming forwards and doing their best work.
Yeah, it's not necessarily working, I think, every time, because I think sometimes they're just then putting unnecessary pressure on their own half. I still would love to see them just take a couple of touches. You know, keep it close, go for some 50s. We saw them earlier, score their goal from a 50 in game number 2. So, yeah, I think, I don't know, I'd like to see it just be a little bit more, maybe playing it less passive, less just, okay, see what you do.
Finish.
Lovely shot from apparently Jack, because that is exactly what he does.
Hands up, who was expecting this one to go to the backboard? Because I 100% was, and I think Eugen was thinking the same thing. But apparently Jackie's smart, Stumpy. He knew what we were thinking. He did the opposite, and that's 2-0.
I mean, he's such a player that will go for relatively, I think, routine and well-practiced plays. Not in a bad way, just in a, look, if I'm going for a double tap, I'm going to be scoring it 99 times out of 100. I'm that consistent with them. And to then mix it up and just go for a low play, go to the opposite bottom corner. Eugen's also, he doesn't know it, but he's low on boost. Makes that a bit more awkward to save. Good bump from Juicy on Stizzy on the backboard. Some more physical plays of Gentlemates could well open up this game a bit more for them, because I still think all of this play has been pretty normal Rocket League.
Yeah, neither team is playing particularly explosively right now. But Dignitas are just starting to pull away from this tactical battle. As he goes for the third, if he can sink this one, it'll be such a far distance for Gentlemates to travel, and he has.
It's a perfect 50 as well, because he takes his next touch, asks the question, and then straight down and angles his card to go back behind Eugen as Eugen comes from the right-hand side. He then goes more left, squeezes it through, 3-0. Dignitas are running away in game 3.
Sort of goal that if you are Eugen, you do not want to see again. But sadly for you, Eugen, plenty of us in here haven't skipped that replay. You just see it get dunked over and over by Stizzy, who's had a great game. Here's Juicy, though. Still time for Gentlemates if they can get something going immediately. Eugen's going to try and do it. Stizzy doesn't let him. Seiko, couple of touches. The old school play is nearly there. But again, Stumpy, who is in net, making the blocks. Apparently, Jack, his 4th save in this game. I think he was close to that in the last one. He cannot be breached. There's a musty there. Saved again, this time by Stizzy.
And the defensive side is being held onto miraculously by Dignitas. They have been under pressure and under siege a decent chunk of this game. More shots going their way, 10 in total. Dignitas only getting 7 on their side, so very good play from Ultimate. Actually, yeah, very good play from Gentlemates. They just can't score any because they've got so many defenders who are tracking back so effectively.
Dig's defending has been sublime so far this series. That's a good touch again from Joris. Apparently Jack has time now to play with it. He's got a chance one-on-one up against Juicy. Big save from Juicy, who's following up. It's Stizzy nearly. Eugen had the reflexes to help his teammates out. They need to do more than get saves, though. And Dignitas are doing an expert job right now of stealing seconds away. Seiko's trying to change that one. He does have a flip reset in his tank. Eugen instead comes in. Crossbar again. Juicy this time does what Jack did earlier. Places it bottom corner.
We're on the absolute verge of garbage time, though. It's taken a long while for any of these shots to apparate into actually a goal. So 14 seconds, 2 needed. This kickoff not ideal either necessarily. Let's see how they approach it. They are going to attempt to bot it. Okay, they just smack each other, and then Staker gets rid of the ball. If you do that and you mess it up, why wouldn't you keep it close at least?
Well, this is where Johnny, because he goes, oh, actually, they were going for
I don't care, Johnny boy.
2-4-6-5, where what you want to do is roll it towards your opponents on the floor when you need a goal and no one's got no boost. All part of the plan.
Honestly, we've spoken about this for oh, here we go. Look how close these players get to the ball when they've been told not to. Look at Juicy in a second. Look at Juicy. Look.
Oh, that's
You're not allowed to touch the ball on a restart.
That is so close. Also, shout out Eugen. Do you know what I mean? He's the newest one there. And he's like, don't worry, guys. I'll be class clown.
Eugen.
Cheeky old Eugen.
Silly. If anybody was not paying attention, yeah, again, you've outed yourself here. We are resetting. 4:33. The goal stands for Gentlemates is currently 1-0. And in this series, Dignitas lead 2 games to 1.
Okay. As you were, everybody. Instant kickoff comes in. We're good to go. Seiko gets the catch almost over the top of Joris, goes under him. A second goal here for Gentlemates could be massive for their mentality. She's pushed that one into the centre. And Dignitas, they need to rally here because, you know, they were a goal behind and they need to just get back into proceedings. They've been playing very well indeed. Will that shake them?
Yeah, I think with Gentlemates, that's a very unwelcome pause. That's a time where they've got themselves another lead. They're starting to do well out of it, and then just having a slight error. By nobody's fault. It's just going to be ruining your momentum just that little bit. So, Churros goes for it. Eugen in the midfield. So that pass goes to no one. Juice now has to find a spot of defending, and Jack pushed in very close. And that ball now dribbles back behind him. That's a challenge versus Seiko, does win out, but then Eugen's in next. Actually rushes that touch a lot when Stizzy wasn't even that close.
Yeah, in that play, there were some awkward 50-50s where players were just flying in front of the ball and not behind it, with nobody behind them. So the ball was going very loose, which is rare to see at this level of Rocket League. As Stizzy goes over the top of Seiko, apparently Jack's coming in, and apparently Jack gets himself another. His numbers have been padded this series.
Yeah, Jack's done a great job so far of just making sure that he is right place, right time, and knows how his teammates are wanting to play as well. Stizzy can drop it down very nicely for him. Nobody on Gentlemates able to read it. Straight down towards Jack. 1-0.
And Gentlemates, who in recent times have had experience of tech pauses, are going to have to dig deep yet again, because there will be some frustrations for them. And they're going to have to keep talking to each other, keep themselves cool, keep themselves calm and collected. And Stizzy gets a huge challenge there against Gentlemates player. Stizzy then fakes out while Jory is in, nearly there from the floor pinch. Eugen, decent player to get the ball away. Stizzy just waiting here to see what apparently Jack can offer. Not too much, just a pass towards Juicy, who stays behind the ball. Decent challenge from him. Eugen's coming in, could be 2-1 here until apparently Jack booms it long. And Gentlemates, after conceding, have improved again.
Eugen, no big connection on that ball as Stizzy challenges him. Seiko has to find a player on his team as he has no boost. As a touchdown from Joris makes it really quite awkward for the defense. Juice now challenges versus Jack. Interesting to see just how Gentlemates can push forward on this player. It's a nice pinch central. Seiko can't make contact.
Stizzy not too much boost, but is able to redirect the ball towards Joris, who misses. So that'll allow Gentlemates just to slow things down. I think they'll be happier with this game being a little bit more mechanics-based as opposed to team-based. It does seem that Dignitas have that sewn up when it comes to the passing plays. The mechs could be something that Gentlemates focus on, as we were asked them to do earlier. Seiko comes in very aggressively, gets the shot away. Joris can only place it in front of his own goal. Apparently Jack had the reflexes to clear it until eventually it falls to Juicy, and that was some serious sustained pressure.
That was a goal that was coming, and it was great play all round. It was actually lovely saves too, coming in from Dignitas. Issue with a lovely save is he used so much boost typically to be able to achieve it. And Gentlemates knew just keep that conveyor belt of players coming and going. And they might be the benefactors. 2 minutes remaining. They now lead by 1 again.
Yeah, I like to see that from Gentlemates. Didn't see enough of that third man committing, taking the risk, really believing there's a goal en route. And they fully believed in full step men, and they've been rewarded for it. Now Dignitas have got 1 minute and 50 seconds to get back into this one. Juicy pings it high towards Eugen. Apparently Jack ready for that one. Almost bundles it home. Sissy's racing Juicy. Juicy misses! And it's just going to roll in. I think that was a mechanical error.
Let's have a look and see what Juicy was doing. It was a nice touch onto the post, and then Juicy just runs. And it doesn't even run out of boost. Yeah, the trail kept going, yeah, and he just misses that one. Seiko then caught completely unawares. It's not the one you want to be conceding in a relatively low-scoring series so far.
Yeah, important game as well. If Dignitas take this one, then Gentlemates will need 3 in a row, and nearly Gentlemates leave themselves open again from the kickoff. Apparently Jack might be able to beat Seiko here. No, instead Seiko beats him. Stizzy booms it forwards. So Dignitas playing similarly to how Gentlemates were earlier, sending it back to their opponents.
Oh, it's a double commit!
Eugen's in, doesn't even need it. Very poor from Dignitas. Seiko says thanks very much.
I believe it was Jack that came in, didn't trust Stizzy was going to be leaving. Stizzy, actually, it's not a great touch from him. He technically keeps that pressure going, but Jack would have had a nice touch into the corner and then have a sustained play rather than one of those snapshot plays. So 2 individual errors so far, so chalk it up to 1 apiece, and Gentlemates are still going to be leading.
Yeah, it does seem that the tactical timeout has opened this series right up. Suddenly, the most open game of Rocket League we've had so far between these two. A few errors flying in, which always makes things more fun. Nobody likes fully clean, dull Rocket League. You want the unpredictability. Stizzy's capable of plenty. Jory is too. Juicy, though, gets the block on him and gets the double nearly. I thought for a second that Juicy would get a second touch. Dignitas chasing. Haven't had to do too much of that this series.
And so far also we're seeing that Gentlemates are chasing a lot of these demos. A lot more physical play coming through. It's been nice to see in a series that otherwise has been sort of both teams playing how they want to. Gentlemates wanting to force Dignitas a little bit more. Again, something that we want to see from them. They're such a good team at doing that as and when they want to. It's a nice touch from Juicy. Keeps the counter-attack at bay for now.
Apparently Jack towards the centre. Juicy is last man there. Stizzy, could he have faked it maybe?
Oh, clear!
Yeah, that might be just... That is in! Wow!
Not a pixel on the ceiling. Just from the side of his car, Jory is caught completely unawares. Sent to the scrapyard as Juicy and Gentlemates score another screamer.
The players knew as well. As soon as that went in, I think it was Jory who just stopped. Or maybe Stizzy. There was a player for Dignitas who just did nothing. It's like, yeah, that's it. And that's it as well! Oh, Juicy! He can't be stopped!
Juicy, a brand new player in this game. Had an error a little bit earlier on. Doesn't matter. Now he's pre-jumping these clears. 5-2 after having, like 2-1, 1-0s, 3-1s. We've now got a 7-goal thriller in the Coliseum.
Yeah, and Juicy's turn on the magnets as well. The ball being attracted to him from every single angle till he pings it away. He has completely turned this one on his head. To be fair, Gentlemates were already winning as well, so despite the slightly unique goals that Juicy has scored, Gentlemates have certainly had the better of this one, and they are dealing with Dignitas' infield passes, not even letting them get a third that would mean nothing. Juicy again! Oh, Jack, bro!
Grow up,
Get,
Jack!
like, the most unique hat-trick you're ever going to see.
You're already winning generally for the season after this one in the RLCS. And Raleigh is the first step over toward the World Championship. If you can lock in those points, you're going to find yourselves in a much nicer position when it comes towards September.
Well, Gentlemates appear to come alive towards the end of that last game, and almost right from the rip, they get a goal yet again. There was a real chance there. I think Seiko could have done more with that one. I know he had to force the angle somewhat, but there was an opportunity there. Huge play from Eugen, getting the pinch across the face of net. So Gentlemates have definitely stepped up, even after Dignitas took their own tactical timeout.
It's a nice 50 from Jack. Just ask a question of Eugen. Actually, it goes a lot slower than I thought, but Eugen still manages to get a nice touch over the top. There he is. Over into the middle. Jack has to make contact, and he doesn't. Seiko reads it a lot better than the Englishman.
Well played, Seiko again. He's the man I identified at the start of this season as the star player so far for Gentlemates. That one wasn't a particularly difficult finish for him, but he was in the right place at the right time and read it better than Jack, as you say, Stumpy. Slammed it home, and Gentlemates now have all the momentum. The kickoff's going their way as well.
I mean, Jack so far has been that player that we were saying was right place, right time in the rest of the series. So quite a large error from him. It's a nice shot on, but Juicy takes his time to then pinch it down low. Otherwise, that just finds itself in the middle. Juicy pulls rank, calls off Eugen, does so intelligently, and it bounces straight into the Dignitas net, and Juicy erupts in laughter.
Oh, the Sue as well.
He just sued this. Out of every goal you've scored, Juicy, you sued that.
Juicy is turning into my favourite player in this series right now. I love the goals that he scored. I don't ever want to see him score just a tap-in or a double-tap dodge into the corner. No, I want to see him score weird stuff from now until the end of time.
I mean, I'm sure Juicy is more than happy with that as well. Eugen shies away from that play. Gives it over towards apparently Jack instead, but low on boost, he can't catch up to the maestro that is Juicy in this series. Joris challenges against him. And what is it that Juicy's got cooking?
I have got no clue, and I love that. Don't even try and predict what Juicy is about to do, everybody, because it'll be different. Might be better, might be worse, might lead to goals.
Yeah, it's going to be something, though. That's the beautiful thing. Juicy now, no boost. There we go. No one knew he was going to sit still and just get demoed. That's all part of his master plan.
If he sits still when Dignitas can't see him.
Exactly.
Stizzy there, he goes up. Juicy's having to retreat back to his own goal this time. Stizzy edgeable over the top. See you later, Juicy. Stizzy does it with a bit more poise.
Lovely play as well. 100 boost. Just takes his time. No one challenges for such a long time as well. Juicy makes contact, but Stizzy has all that forward momentum, and he can force it towards that left-hand post. There's one brought back for Diggs so far, but it feels like somewhat of an outlier compared to earlier in the series.
Yeah, it does seem that this one is just going away from them and straight away from kickoff. Sometimes you can just tell that a team is not quite gearing at top gear. You know, it's not quite happening for them. Dignitas seem to be there, and it's because Gentlemates are pulling out the odd plays very well indeed. And that was an old-school Gentlemates goal as well. Lose the 50-50, score the follow-up.
I don't want to say that. Seiko, he's not using his classic yeehaw goal boost. That's a goal explosion. He's using like the dial-up one. I love the sound of it. All the Gen Zers in chat will have no idea what that is. Back in my day, that's how you used to get on the internet.
How old are you now? 40?
Yeah, he's got rid of the yeehaw. And yeah, 40 this weekend.
Congratulations. Happy birthday. Everyone say happy 40th to Stumpy.
Thank you.
He looks good for it. You better have a good day over 38.
That's really kind.
Seiko has apparently Jack in his way, but is not worried about that at all. Another huge dunk there from Seiko. Eugen towards Juicy. Juicy tries to back it at Eugen. Juicy still having some fun. It might lead to a counter-attack. It could completely backfire. Eugen gets back in time. Juris still has time to touch the ball, and Eugen is back. Apparently Jack has to flip away. Dignitas are unable to punish Gentlemates again.
Thanks for all the happy birthdays in chat and calling me Unk. That feels great. 2 minutes and 10 seconds as Eugen wants to slam it into that blue half. Apparently Jack a very loose touch, and Juicy, he just waits and lurks to see what is going to be happening. Joris uses a lot of boost there, and Dignitas, they just look a little bit more lost in this game compared to the others, and that is a lovely bump. Juicy now has to avoid apparently Jack bearing down on him, but low boost means that he can't get too close to him. And Juicy actually turns around entirely from being on defense, spins into an offensive play.
He had no boost left. He had nothing in the tag. He's just really trying to chase him. And Juicy's like, nah, not quite quick enough. Not quite quick enough. Juicy, the king of odd goals, gets another cheeky one there. 4-1 now, Gentlemates. And this, the post-tactical timeout game.
It's going to be a big challenge for Dignitas to come through, and I think just if anything a bit more convincing than they have been. I mean, Gentlemates, how different are they playing compared to the first couple of games? Like the first couple, they were just sitting back waiting for everything to be coming through from Gentlemates, but now Gentlemates have taken it completely. The onus is on them to see how they want this series to develop, and it has flipped it on its head entirely.
They're just enjoying themselves, Gentlemates. They're having such a good time right now. You can tell by the passing plays they're going for, by the solo shots they're taking. We said it way back at the start of this series that we were waiting for anybody to really take this series. Let's go for the next.
Oh!
Surely not. He can't have done. He has done. Juicy. How?
What a gorgeous touch! Back over Jorias again. That's one that you should sue for, son.
Whoa! Juicy! I was not familiar with your game. He's gone again for the skimmer. Eugen's waiting. Just give Juicy the ball, Eugen and Seiko. I'm still angry. Apparently Jack saving that Juicy shot at the end of the last game, because that would have added to the highlight reel.
And we were saying as well that there was no one that was really standing out. No one had taken any control of this game at any given moment in the first 3 games or so.
I thought he'd get that pitch. I really thought he was about to score.
Yeah, no one had taken control. No one's that stand-up player. We were just saying it's 6 players playing Rocket League, which at that point it was. But now it has become the Gentlemates and the Juicy show all round. It's been wonderful to watch.
Almost another assist there for Juicy. 5-1. I can't think of too often I've seen this Dignitas roster get obliterated in any given game. But this has been an obliteration. It could be a 6. Seiko almost there. Somehow gets the ball backwards. Not quite sure what was going on with the physics there. So this has gone for a couple of skimmers himself. Everyone's practicing their skims. And it's going to be 3-2 Gentlemates. And Dignitas, they wins this game. Obviously, if Gentlemates win it, they win the series anyway. But I feel whoever wins this game takes the series.
I agree if we're talking about Gentlemates.
Okay.
Because if they win this game, they win the series.
Sure, no, I understand. I said that myself. Okay, well, that's what I think is going to happen. I think whoever wins this one has the momentum to either have won it already, or Dignitas will just have enough momentum that Gentlemates won't be able to deal with. But Dig have still got to win this game for that to happen.
And we've seen, I think, it comes down to whether they can effectively shut down Juicy, and so far it has not been that way. Juicy has honestly changed completely how he is playing. The way that he has turned around a lot of the plays that he started to go for, they're now confidence plays. Before they're all reactive and, let's give it over to Dignitas and see what they do. A lot more confidence-based, and that is a scary position for him to be in.
Well, Juicy slams that one down. Juicy, this is a reminder of what a good player he was. It was the Gentlemates, when they won the major, wasn't he MVP? I haven't imagined that, have I?
He was, yeah.
Yeah, so he is a former major MVP for anybody who may not be familiar with his game. He certainly has this sort of performance in him. It's been a little while, though, since he's been this stunning and dominant. But so far, 1 minute and 15 seconds into game number 6. No one's really stepped up just yet. Gentlemates seems to have slowed down a little bit as Juicy tries to beat Apparently Jack, but Apparently Jack gets a clean 50 all the way arrowed into the corner where Seiko was waiting.
And bear in mind as well that we talk about Juicy and the MVP that he got at that major, still yet to have won an online event. And he's scoring goals. He's still tapping them home. He is still plugging away, doing what he needs to with Gentlemates. This could be the day that Juicy wins his first online event.
What a story that would be, yeah. Winning one after winning the major, going, oh, phew, I really want one of those ones.
That's one to tick off, isn't it?
He probably thinks that if he wins this one, that Gentlemates boot camp is the ceiling's gonna open up and confetti's gonna fall down.
I hope so. I hope they've got balloons ready for him.
Oh, here he is, currently ballooning his own stats. The performance that he's putting in, Eugene. Up against Jorius. Jorius wins it cleanly, but it's only to the ceiling. Seiko slams that one to the ceiling, follows it up himself, but apparently Jack knew what he was doing.
There's a lot more to be after Dignitas, isn't there? Where, like, they've definitely had... They don't really know how to respond, I think, to what Gentlemates is putting forward to them now.
They're going to keep on coming, and they're going to keep on shooting. It's Juicy again, it's safe, though. Hits the crossbar for once. Gentlemates just didn't have the rub of the green on their side. Juicy still lingering in the center. Jorius might nip in between the two of them, and that feels like a swing moment in this series.
That's got to be a breath of fresh air. That has to feel great for Jorius. Just for anybody who thinks has to score that goal from a very aggressively positioned Gentlemates and imperfectly positioned Gentlemates. They bring it even yet again. They did this before, and then Gentlemates won that game with 5 goals to their name.
Well, I can't see that happening in this one. I can't see either team getting 5 here. And it's going to be a very tight end to game number 6. Seiko clears long. Jorius races against Eugene. Eugene wins that race excellently. Great pace from him. Apparently Jack the catch on the backboard. Seiko waiting to see if Apparently Jack would make any mistakes, but Apparently Jack could do that 1,000 times and do it perfectly each one. Stizzy and Eugene have the ball fall into the center where Juicy was waiting. The next goal in this series, utterly pivotal. And Dignitas finally looking more like their old selves. Big from Eugene. Stizzy must be wondering how on earth they're going to score. Apparently Jack goes to the backboard. Jorius coming in. Gonna miss that one. Slams it.
That is perfection. Stizzy finds Jack. Backboard. Jorius slams it down. Like they were in a choreographed dance. Dignitas secure the lead again.
You can tell that Jorius had a little bit of personal spice on that one. That shot meant something. Stizzy races to this ball, gets to the ceiling, great touch from him. Apparently Jack takes out the goalkeeper as well, but it wouldn't quite fall for Stizzy. Jorius now gets the reset over the top. Juicy saves it. And now it's Jorius that's looking like the star man on the pitch.
And that's how it was. That was the story at the start of this series as well. He was the guy. He was the one who was picking up the boost and doing everything with it. Juicy took over that role briefly. Season now wants to make sure that his name is mentioned in the history books of this series. Nice touch from Jorius. Only finds Juicy, however. Seiko, he's not going to be jumping up quick enough as Jorius again just darting left and right across the pitch. Taking up every pixel that he can. Stizzy, a shot on. Juicy to save.
Seiko has Eugene to his right and Juicy straight behind him. Goes down the middle. Not sure I agree with that decision. Apparently Jack's not too much better either. Stizzy, couple of touches. Eugene floating. Gets the touch. The Gentlemates need control of this ball. They know they have a minute left.
And right now, Dignitas are playing with their food. Juicy is waiting underneath this one. Has to be apparently Jack to it. Apparently Jack for a second. I thought we could nip in there ahead of Juicy. Big save from Jorius. Out of nothing, Gentlemate's almost scored. Still nice. Juicy saved again by Stizzy.
I mean, these shots are coming out of nowhere as well. There's no time to react. Pure instinct ball coming through for Dignitas.
Juicy, couple of touches, gets the flip reset. Into the back ball!
I thought that was a pass. He only had eyes for himself here. The reset to the backboard, the insta touchdown for the double. What an equaliser.
Man, when your opponents are making save after save from infield passes, sometimes you just got to do it all yourself. And Juicy is that guy today. He's waiting. Dignitas terrified of what he's going to offer. Over the top of Stizzy, Jorius was there. Eugen to the side now. He's got 81 boost, plenty to play with. Goes to the ceiling himself. Wants to get the reset. He's been looking at Juicy's big book of tricks. Almost replicates the feat.
Juicy now up, does find Eugen, but Jack slams him out of the way to the backboard. Eugen waits and lurks. Can't quite get that touchdown from Jorius' save. Final 10 as we go level on Neo Tokyo.
Seiko around the corner. Juicy is there. Gentlemate's one goal away from a foot in Raleigh. They almost get it straight away. Eugen shoots. There's Seiko. Big save from Stizzy. One more chance for Juicy. Doesn't have the boost to follow it up.
He's not out.
This could still spell danger for Dig. They have survived. It's overtime.
They survived by the skin of their teeth. They could not stop the mates from coming at them. Stizzy now on that left-hand wing. Goes long, not quite around the side of Eugen. He has 12 boosts with Stizzy getting those demos. And my word, if Dignitas get physical, it is going to be very hard for Gentlemates to be recovering.
Apparently Jack has the boost to play with. Big block on the goal line again from Seiko. The defending from both teams has been huge at times. Stizzy a few touches around the corner. Jory is up against Seiko. Gentlemate's chasing shadows somewhat, but that is better from Juicy. Takes his time and at least gets them halfway. There's apparently Jack. Old school redirect attempt towards Stizzy. Saved by Eugen.
I mean, that 100 boost steal, despite this counter-attack, is going to be big in favour of Dignitas. 2 go, however. As a backflip! This Eugen gone long. Juicy got very little boost, but does make the touch. You can see errors coming through now. Eugen did not deal well with the end of the series a couple of weeks ago. He does not want to repeat that same feat.
It does seem that infield passes aren't too effective in this series, constantly being read. Instead, it's the solo plays. Juicy against apparently Jack. Needs to get a decent dunk here. Apparently Jack avoids it well. Gets it forward, so there will be another wave of pressure from Gentlemates after that touch from Eugen. Seiko's to his left. Stizzy bundles him forward. Eugen wants to try and take out Jorius, but Jorius is too speedy to the ball and can get it away for now. Juicy's turn. This could be the winner. Stizzy saves as far away as needed as well.
We know Seiko also nice positioning as Juicy steals that boost away from Stizzy. Does go below on target. Jack to attempt to dunk, but Juicy can maintain control. Jorius challenges and wins out on that 1v1. Stizzy corner bounces. Jack central. Jack's to shoot. Did not have the power or positioning, and Seiko can clear it away. It's a long pitch.
No.
It's going straight in, and Stizzy can get the save.
If any series is going to end with a pinch after a save, it's going to be this one. But it was blocked on the goal line just about. Jack would have had his head in his hands if that had gone in. But Dig survived for now. Eugen, couple of touches around the corner. Keeps it going as well, refuses to leave. Stizzy's first touch is a nice one. Has Juicy in front of him, goes underneath him, nearly well played from Juicy, and blocks it wide.
Up high with a big old dunk, just wide of the net. Eugen wants it central. Jorius can block him on that chance. Seiko gets around the side of one. Stizzy chips it. And a boost advantage in favour of Gentlemates. It's one touch, not quite happening in favour of Dig there. To the ceiling is Jack. Straight back down, actually just wide of target. My word, how did that nearly go in?
Jorius up against Juicy. Jorius loses out on purpose because he knew that Stizzy was coming for him. Seiko's there trying to tee up Juicy, but it's a little bit in front of him. All these players now, their hands will be feeling heavy. The pressure will be up. And we'll know how important this goal is, not just for this series, but for this entire season. Seiko has Juicy underneath him, wants the ball to go to him, but Jorius gets enough on it to go over the top of Juicy. It's nervy time, Stumpy. Stizzy, couple of touches, finds Jack! Dig have done it! We're going to Game 7!
I felt like it was written in the stars for this such close series to end in Game 7. Dignitas can do it 3 minutes deep on Neo.
No idea what we're about to witness, Stumpy. I've got a feeling it's not going to be one of those nervy Game 7s. I think we're about to see some goals.
If this goes the way of Games 1, 2, and 3, I will be fuming. I don't want any nerves here. Full bore, go crazy for it. This is for your chance in the history books.
Well, Seiko's left a little bit stranded in goal. If Stizzy could have got another touch, he wasn't able to there. Apparently Jack, a couple of hits and almost puts it in towards his own net. That was awkward from him, but he had Stizzy and Jorius on hand to attend to him. Gentlemates seem to have started Game 7 slightly better as Eugen goes to the backboard, gets the touch. There's a bit of ping-pong in there. Not quite sure that's what Dignitas wanted. Eugen, he's going to shoot and score sorely. Big save from Jorius. The infield passes are being read so well by both teams. Eugen again is blocked.
Jorius as well, in the previous game too, how many saves, like how many important saves too, not just those touches. Juicy round the side and Jack gets it until Seiko can be the securer, taps it home, but wondrous play from both.
Yeah, first blood goes to the pink corner. Apparently Jack got the save. It was great reflexes from him, but couldn't quite redirect it away from his own goal. Seiko was on hand just to prod it in, and we have the early deadlock broken to open this game up.
Jorius' defense has been absolutely astounding so far.
Ooh,
That is not great as Juicy goes up. Managed to get the dunk on him. A little bit too choreographed there from Jorius, but it shows that you need to make sure that you're keeping your opponent second guessing.
Yeah, Gentlemates are going for some outrageous dunks on Dignitas right now. Feed them the ball.
Wow.
And then block him out before they go anywhere. That's a good touch from Eugen. Seiko's in the middle. Can Eugen find him? He can. Extra touch. All for himself. He hits the post there out of nothing.
I mean, that edge rule went further than he wanted for Seiko. It went perfectly for him until that block did come through. Stizzy, it's another pre-jump. He's done that a couple of times. My word, Eugen, and the dunk, why not? Can he get it central to a teammate? Not quite. Jack gets there first.
What we're seeing so far, though, is that Eugen, who was criticised for his overtime a couple of weeks ago against Carmine Corp, does not want history to repeat himself. He is demanding this ball as we were requesting earlier, and he is looking insanely mechanical up to this point.
Possession so far falling quite handily over towards Gentlemates. The pitch play as well has been more in that blue half than I think it ever before compared to the previous games as well.
Decent touch from Jorius. Wants to keep hold of the ball, though. Juicy's not going to allow him to do that. He has the ball going over his shoulder. He must have got a call. He had time, and he's certainly got the mechs to go over all three of them. Apparently Jack's coming in. Must be an equalizer. It's saved by Seiko. Not the best shot again for apparently Jack. Then Eugen meets Jorius. Is he going all the way? He's racing, and Stizzy's getting there.
Millimeters from going in. Jack again with a save. A huge pitch goes the other way. It's going to be wide. This is end to end. Halfway through, just one goal separating these two teams. Never mind, it is level.
A slight hesitation on the goal line is all that was needed at a series being played at this pace. Seiko had the ball go over his shoulder, and unlike earlier on, Stizzy was attacking it for Dignitas.
Now, saying about the possession, saying about the pressure, it has been so far around 63 to 38 on the other side. And Stizzy does not care about numbers. He does not care what it may well be drawn up in those books, because he makes sure that he puts the pressure on, secures another goal as Dig all of a sudden take the lead.
That's a great pass as well from apparently Jack. His shooting has been up for critique in the last couple of games, in my opinion, but that pass was perfect from the kickoff. Though it's Seiko, he shoots it forward, 2-2 straight away. Big save, Jorius. Eugen tries to catch it, but he's nearly dunked as well. Every touch has got danger attached to it. Stizzy almost gets the tip over the top. This could be a bonanza. Jorius, he's going to fake it for apparently Jack. No, he goes for the double tap instead. Apparently Jack tees it off. There's Juicy. I'm exhausted. The players must be too.
I mean, the defense again from Jorius in their first series of the day, mind you. They've got one more after this at minimum. Jorius pass back towards Jack. Lovely pass back too. In the 2 minutes now, apparently Jack shoots it. Top corner of the tap and smash. Seiko can save it away. Eugen can't get the block, but low boost Jorius can't make a huge dent in the other side. Seiko waits middle, but Eugen can't get the ball to him.
And getting a little bit shaky again now, Gentlemates. They're starting to see that the timer is ticking away. Only 90 seconds left. They need themselves a goal. Eugen prods it towards Seiko. Seiko still has Eugen to the side, but I don't know how much boost he's got, so Seiko tries to go underneath Stizzy. Apparently Jack, great pace from him, only up against Juicy. Juicy's being taken up by Stizzy, is he? No, Juicy wrangles himself away. Eugen's touch is awkward. He's done by Jorius now. This has to be a good read from Seiko, and it is. As far as Stizzy, though, anyone else following up for Dignitas, you can't take your eyes off this one.
He didn't quite have as much time as he thought, as Jack then ended up coming in. And Jorius, the immediate rotation round. Gentlemates are not being allowed to breathe so far. Jack shoots it down, crossbar, only finds Juicy. Now Stizzy has to be that sole defender. Defends against Seiko so far, and Eugen another miss.
Juicy has the nerves of steel, but Stizzy's coming forwards again. Gentlemates need to get hold of this ball. Eugen has the pass to the side. Juicy's almost there, but can't quite reach it.
Final 40, Stizzy in that back corner, alleviates the ball towards apparently Jack, who then gets rid of Seiko. Eugen gets himself in that back corner, 100 boost too. Sees Joris waiting groundwards, has to get that dunk. Joris's defense, his 50s have been sublime so far, and 25 seconds left to hold on.
Lovely touch there from Joris. Had to put it sideways, but Juicy was waiting. He goes for the early shot. Apparently Jack calls his teammates off. One more chance for Gentlemates. You feel is in their future. It could be now, but it's blocked by Stizzy.
It dropped completely central, but no one was there for it, and Seiko may well have to go end-to-end with this penultimate play. Does not get the best first touch. Jack can challenge him, but he gets beaten. Seiko backboard, Seiko double. It's central, Juicy's there, Stizzy can block it. That is gonna be just far enough. And Dignitas move through to the semi-finals.
Whoa, everyone take a minute just to relax. See what it means to